I am Shanae, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. And if you're back again, thank you so much for coming back. So today I'm super excited. I have a woman-owned business to talk to you about today. The name of this business is called Sonia Elliott Brows and Beauty. And this business is located in Summerville, South Carolina. So I'm really, really excited. We're going to talk to her today, find out about her services and all the things that she offers, and get to know Sonia a little bit more. So get comfortable and come right back, and we'll jump in. So, hi, Sonia.
Hey, Shanae, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being here today. So, I really want everyone to know a little bit more about you and your business. So, give us some information about you and your business.
Okay, so my name is Sonia Elliott, and the name of the business is Sonia Elliott Brows and Beauty. But I am a esthetician of 14 years. I'm also a licensed massage therapist. I started in the business 14 years ago. I started in makeup as a MAC artist. I worked for the MAC company for 3 years, and that's how I got my start in the beauty industry because I loved makeup. And during that time, I was working in law enforcement, so full time. So I would work on my days off, and it was just a paycheck. It was really, it was a good job. Okay, so and I'm a single mother, so I worked. I stayed in law enforcement. I retired after 29 years. I retired last year, January, and before my retirement, 3 years, about 5 years ago, I was like, okay, Plan B. I have to work on my Plan B. So I went to work for a wax company, a franchise company. I said, I can do this on my own. Let me branch out. And I started doing my research and, researching wax companies and such and everything. And then started, getting things together. And in 2020, after COVID, after, everything opened back up, I went my first location, which was a single room, kind of a small room. And then from there, another location. And now I'm here at my present location at 810 Travelers Boulevard, Suite D1.
So we're going to dive into this interview, but before we do that, I want to ask you some questions.
Sure.
These are a few icebreaker questions. So the way that this works, I'm going to ask Sonia one or the other. She chooses which one, and you don't even think. You just go off the top of your head. There's six of them. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So beach or mountains?
Beach.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Cold or hot?
Hot.
Out dancing or home watching TV?
I love dancing. I'm a wind-up doll.
Ooh, okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea. I'm sweet tea.
Okay. Bold colors or neutrals?
I love bold.
Ooh, okay. Love that. Okay. So a lot of what you said, we have a lot in common.
Yes.
So now we're going to jump in. We're going to shift gears. We're going to jump in. We're going to get to know Sonia a little bit more. And we're also going to find out more about her journey to where she is now. Because you guys know life is a journey. We all start off doing something, and a lot of times we shift gears over time, and then we end up where it is that God wants us to be. So I'm super excited to learn, to be inspired. So let's jump into it. Okay, so you told us that you started out in law enforcement, and you were in law enforcement for how long?
29 years.
29 years. Okay, so you retired from law enforcement, and while you were in law enforcement, you still were doing makeup. So you kind of were already into the beauty industry.
Yes.
So how did you even get into wanting to do makeup? Like, what led you to that?
Well, like I said, I have a love for makeup, period. I've always had a love for it since a kid. I couldn't wear it because of my mother's religious background. She wouldn't allow us to wear makeup. So once I became an adult, I started diving into just a tiny bit, like for myself, of course. And one day I went to the MAC counter, the MAC at Citadel Mall at Bells. And the manager there was Miss Umbrella Mackey, beautiful black woman with green eyes and long lashes. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. And I told Miss Umbrella, I said, I want to be a makeup artist. She said, well, with that company, they want you to actually already be trained either at a makeup school, which there are none in South Carolina, or to be in the industry, such as cosmetology or esthetician, which I wasn't.
Okay.
So I said, okay. So I went to school for esthetician. I had no idea what an esthetician was, had no idea what they did. So I found a school here in Charleston, and I saw on the curriculum they had makeup. I said, oh, they'll teach me.
Yeah.
Well, enrolled and I said, okay, this is what they do, facials and waxing and learning the skin. I said, okay, I like this. This is cool. And I was going at night, and I worked my job during the day. And so I went to night school for 7 months, I believe. And then once I graduated, got my state board, went through state board, got my licensing. I went back to Miss Mackey at Mac. I said, okay, I'm licensed.
Wow.
And she was like, oh, you're serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I want to be a makeup artist. And she said, okay, well, we'll bring you on as a freelance artist. That means when we have events, then we'll call you for extra help.
Okay.
So 2 weeks later, I got called in for an event that they had. And my first client was a white female who evidently went to the beach a lot because she was very tanned. And I never worked with anybody on anyone before. This was my first person I actually worked on.
Wow.
And it took me an hour to do this lady's makeup. But her teenage girls were with her, and they loved what I did. And that's how Miss Mackey kind of kept looking at me, for where I was at, checking on me, kind of looking at me. And they liked it, so I was like, okay, I did okay.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. And that's how I started out in makeup.
Yeah.
I got hired on permanent with the company, and I ended up working part-time every weekend.
Okay.
So, and I did that for 3 years, along with working my full-time job and being a single mom. But I have a community. I had a community. I had my mom, helping me with the kids and stuff like that. So I had a community help with my kids, my 2 children. So that's how I got started.
Wow.
And from there, like I said, I was working my law enforcement job. And so as I knew my time was coming to an end, and I could have extended, I could have stayed, I could have stayed where I was at as far as the police agency I worked for, but I was so burnt out. It was time for me to go. I felt that push, God pushing me to get out of there. And so 5 years before my retirement, I just started implementing different things and taking classes and working for other folks. And I worked for a spa for a little while. Here I am.
Yeah, so, here you are. So I do want to maybe dig a little bit more into that, because a lot of women feel like there are so many obstacles that keep them from like finding or pursuing their passion. Mm-hmm. The question that I get a lot is, Sinead, how do I find my passion? I don't even know what I want to do, or there are things that I want to do, but I can't because, maybe I am a single parent, or maybe I don't have the finances, right, or things like that. But the thing that I'm taking away from what you just shared is that even though you were a single parent, it sounds like you were always like determined, like you were a go-getter.
Oh yeah,
naturally. Because for you to go, say they told you, okay, you need training, you need to have this, certification. You like, okay, I'm about to go get it.
Yeah.
You go, you do night school, and you get it, and you go right back.
Right.
So that is a characteristic that a lot of people want. Okay, yeah. I will be honest and say that that's something that I think that's a gift for you to have that type of determination. But I do want to spend a little bit of time, if you can share maybe what you would say to someone who wants to pursue something, but they are a single parent, right, or let's say they just don't know if they can do it. Is there anything that you would say to her?
I would say I used my full-time job to finance my dream. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So my house never lacked, as far as that's concerned. My house never lacked. My kids never lacked. So my full-time job financed my trainings, my business. When I finally did step away, I was already set. I'm retired. I get a retirement check. Building a business, take classes, get mentorship is very important, because you want to be with people who've already been there.
Yeah. Who
can help you with the shortcuts, so that you're not having to do what I did, because I came into business not knowing how to be a business owner. I finally started doing mentorships with other business people that were already in the business industry, and that was a great help, because some of the things that they came out, I was like, I never would have thought of that. Mm-hmm. And so mentorship is very important. You have to invest and it costs money. Everything's an investment. You have to have that dedication. There are grants out there that mm-hmm. you can apply for, and it's like a gamble with the grants. Get with a company that write grants. That's going to be an investment. So nothing is cheap.
Okay, so Sonia, you touched on this a little bit, but I do want to ask you, what were some of the like ebbs and flows in terms of starting a business? Because I know you said you started out maybe working for a franchise, and then you branched out on your own.
Yes.
So when you branched out on your own, and you mentioned marketing, so can you tell us a little bit more about like maybe the ebbs and the flows, and maybe the good to knows?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't know I had to market myself. So I would go to my shop. Well, I set up my Google account. And then think that I can just go to the shop and just sit and wait for people to book.
Okay.
And it was a lot of sitting, and because I didn't know I needed to get myself out there or to meet people where they are. I had no idea. So this is what I'm saying that mentorships are very important. To partner with someone who can show you the ropes, what their downfalls were, where they lacked, what they've corrected. And that was one of the biggest things was marketing, advertising, and then I didn't know about, because what we call it, bootstrapping. When you finance out of your pocket your business, I was bootstrapping my business.
Okay.
Which I didn't know about grants. I did go to SBA, and I think I did one of their business planning.
And what's SBA?
Small Business Administration.
It's SBA. Okay. All right.
I did go to one of their workshops for writing a business plan, but it wasn't. It was like a large room with a lot of folks, and it just wasn't. It didn't work well for me.
Okay.
It just didn't work well, And so I started following certain people on social media who would advertise grants or grant writing, we'll write the grants for you. Okay. But of course you're gonna have to pay these folks.
Right.
Okay. But grants, free money, of course. And then the state also, you can also search grants within your city or within your state. Nice. You could say grants in Somerville or grants in North Charleston, business grants and stuff. Because sometimes the state will have grants for the businesses that you're not aware of. They're not going to advertise. No, it's free money. They're not going to advertise that. So you can Google those things also. And then with just me going into a mentorship, I've had several mentors over the years. Some worked out, some were profitable. I did get educated, and some were a waste of time. Yeah. But in all, I have notebooks and notebooks of information. It's like, okay, now you can't just be a quarter of information. You have to start implementing what you're being taught. Right. And so the biggest thing was just getting out there. And so doing events. You got to do free stuff. You got to do free events. So people can see you. That's the only way they're going to know who you are, what you do, and what you offer. So not everything's going to be paid. You're going to be giving a lot back. Okay, so I was talking about this the other day. I talked about being a servant leader. In that a lot of times we all want to be like, instant gratification is a thing right now. Right. And especially with our generation, my generation, and younger generations, we want to see something happen fast. And a lot of times we want to start right at the top, but there's something to be said about being willing to do things for free. And like you said about getting your name out. So even though that you may be doing that one thing right now for free, by everybody saying your skill set, they're willing to pay because you've shown them what it is that you can do. Exactly. So sometimes, you have to look at opportunities. And of course, we're not saying take everything for free, because you do have to make money. Right. However, when you do allow yourself to be available for those opportunities, it could lend itself to another opportunity that will propel you into the next level of making money and having long-term clients. Right. So I really love that point about being able to where to start, right? Because sometimes that's what paralyzes us. We don't even know where to start. So you offer a lot of different services, right? And so I want to go through the services that you offer. So I'm a wax girl. I love waxing. I'm always in love waxing. But I'm also a massage therapist. I do on the waxing, of course, full body waxing, Brazilians, brows. I love brows. I do brow wax a tint. Sometimes you want to throw a lash on there too. I do that also. I still do makeup. I'm still a makeup artist. I will always be a makeup artist. I don't have it on my little business cards, but my people contact me. They're like, I need to get my makeup done. Yeah. And I did try to step away from makeup for, I told a couple of my clients I'm thinking about stepping away from it, and they looked at me like I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Well, who's gonna do my makeup?"
That's right.
You can't stop. I'm like, okay, all right. I'll just do. I just won't put it out there. I'll just whoever. It's on my menu, so if people still book, they'll book, but I'm not just gonna advertise it. But of course, massage therapy. Massage therapy is very therapeutic. It helps with not only chronic pain and aches in your body. It's not only just for pain. It's very therapeutic as far as helping your body, the blood flow through your muscles correctly. It helps with stiffness in your body. It helps your body to naturally detox because now we're getting everything moving all over, ways the way it's supposed to. It helps you sleep better. It helps with stress. A lot of us carry our stress in our shoulders and in our backs. Come on, lay on my table. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
So relieve you all of that, and you feel so good when you leave. You do want to go home and just take a nap. That's how wonderful it is. So it's very therapeutic. I believe that everyone should get a massage, even if it's once a month or once every 2 months. But come and get a massage. Come and get whether you do it when you do an hour service, you'll be mad that didn't do the 90-minute, which is an hour and a half. I do an hour and a half when I get mine because an hour is just a teaser. When the hour's over, I'm mad because I don't want to get off the table. But so if you've ever had a massage, you're like, I don't know, stop being the prude, stop being scary. Come to me. I'm like, even though I'm a solo business owner, I do other massage therapists that work with me whenever I have a couples massage coming up this Sunday. Another LMT
nice.
friends coming to help me with a couples massage. So, and I have guy massage therapists that I call on. Hey, I need a guy to come in because they're requesting a male.
Yeah.
We got you here at Sonia Elliott Brows and Beauty.
And I have to plug. I received a massage from Sonia, and it was really good. So I will tell you now, if I know some people, like you said, they may not have gotten a massage, they just kind of feel maybe it'd be awkward or something, but a massage is so necessary. Like I didn't realize it years before until as I got older. I have 3 children. I work. It's just day to day activities. Being on your phone, being at a computer. If you do manual labor, if you stand up on your feet, any type of thing that you're doing all day, you need that level of relief. And you're only going to get that through a massage therapist. Sonia is really good. She takes her time. It was just so thorough. It felt so relaxing. And when you get a good massage, and when somebody just in there just tapping on you. And so I'm telling you, you need to definitely check out Sonia for a massage. Allow her to work through those muscles, because otherwise those muscles don't get touched. Mm-hmm. If nobody's rubbing that out, it just sits there. So I have to say I'm so thankful that I learned the power of a massage, because it's something that you didn't know you needed until you get it. Okay. So we're telling you now. We're the first to tell you, if you haven't tried it, it definitely is something that you want to start doing and implementing into your lifestyle so that you can have a healthier body. Our bodies they go through so much. So you need someone to take 90 minutes out, and it's just you and that table, and to help relieve some of that stress and tension. So
right, and you're draped the whole time. You're not exposed. You're draped the whole time, so there is no exposing you.
Right.
So it is nothing like that. I also want to touch on, as far as massage. I have a couple of guys, 3 guys who come in. One works in a crane. He's a longshoreman who works up in the crane because he does a lot of mechanical, moving those levers and using his feet. His whole body is constantly doing these motions. He comes and gets deep tissue, a 90-minute deep tissue, and he said, look, you need to have a room where I can just take a nap afterwards.
Yeah.
And he comes and gets a 90-minute done. And then another gentleman comes in every few months. He has back issues. He's military. He soldier, ex-soldier, and he has his muscles contract in his hips to where he's hunched over. He can't stand completely erect. I do some deep work with him to get him standing straight up, and his wife comes here also.
Yeah.
And then another gentleman, he's a car salesman. He's on his feet all day, but that pulling of the muscle, the calf muscle, or we call it the gastrocnemius or the soleus, attaching to your heel, it pulls to where he can't stand straight up. So I have to do some really deep tissue in his legs so that it'll to those attachment sites to kind of give that relief. So massage is more than just therapeutic. If you have like certain muscle pain or aches and you don't know why, or you feel like your your body mechanics or your gait is not straight, it's usually because the muscle is pulling up more on one side than the other. That's when the massage comes in to kind of get those muscles back where they need to be. So it's everyone.
It's a must.
It's a must.
It's a must.
It's a must. Yeah.
So take us through some of the other things. Oh, I saw facials on here.
I do facials. Yes.
Facials are like now. I'll be honest. I just got into facials over the last probably about 5 months. I didn't think I could get a facial because my skin is so sensitive. Mm-hmm. But there are products that you guys use as professionals that can help cater towards every type of skin type.
Right.
And so if you do have sensitive skin, letting your facialists know that and they can find what works for you. But let's talk about facials a little bit. Okay. And just kind of in terms of who would be the ideal person to get a facial?
Well, anyone. I mean, a facial is like a detoxing of your skin. Our natural oils build up the pollutants, the pollutants that our environment. Our skin takes in a lot, and you would be surprised how congested your skin is until coming in a facial, and we're working it out, and we got stuff coming up out of your skin. So you'd be surprised. So anyone can get a facial. I just started into doing facials a few months ago because I have my own skincare issues, and I want to address them myself. Yeah. So I went and took a 3-day class in Atlanta. I have another class that I'm actually doing online now this week, and then I'm going to do another in person in North Carolina in a couple of months with an educator. So it's an investment, of course, on my part. I'm doing it because I reached out to a couple of estheticians in the area about my skincare issues, and I got ignored. So I'm like, I don't know if it was like thinking I'm trying to come and see what's going on and
because of the industry.
Because of the industry, yeah. But it's not. I want someone to do my skin. I need my own
skin
girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, hell, I'm also go ahead and go educate myself and treat myself, and then I can treat others. So that's my journey in skincare.
Yeah. I think that you hit the nail on the head in terms of like the power of a facial, because now that I've gotten facials, I feel like I don't have to wear makeup. Like I think before I was like, I have to have on some makeup to look alive, but the vibrancy of my skin now that I am getting facials, you can tell it's like it's a glow. And, it's just something that, again, I didn't realize I really needed until I started going. And now that I've been going, it's a certain service that I feel like I have to have in my regimen, because it also is another form of me loving and taking care of myself. And so that's one thing I do want to speak to. So on my platform, I talk about self-care a lot. Again, I'm a mom, Sonia, you're a mom. We're sisters, we're daughters, some of us are married. We have all these titles and we do a lot all day and we're thinking about others. Sometimes it really can be, you get to a point where you don't even think about yourself. You're just constantly doing things for other people. And that's what we don't want to do, because that is not taking care of yourself. It's just like what, I think it was my granddaddy, or not granddaddy, somebody's granddaddy used to say, if you take care of a car, it'll take care of you. If you take care of your body, it'll take care of you. And not only that, we want to get to a point, into a place where we're feeling really good about ourselves. And those are ways that you're constantly doing things to help you feel better about yourself and confident. So when you think of these services, you don't want to think of it as elective. You don't want to think of it as just something, sometimes I can do it. You want to think of it as something that you should do as a way of taking care of yourself, giving yourself that 90 minutes out of 1 month to get a massage. That sounds silly, right? 90 minutes out of an entire month, just to do one thing for yourself if you don't do anything else. So I do think that it is important to have a go-to massage therapist. so that they can know your body. That's one great perk.
Right.
When you have a client, just how you were able to tell us about your other clients, you know their body so well, so you know every day, or you can recommend different things, and or you know what you should work on the next time.
Right.
Brazilian lymphatic. Yes, tell us about that.
So lymphatic drainage is a certain massage, and the Brazilian is put in because I was trained. I went under the training of Josie Rushing. She is a Brazilian massage therapist, and she brought her skills to the U.S. And if you follow her on Instagram, you see her all the time. But there's a certain way she has to do. It's not the vulgar lymphatic technique which most LMTs could do, but it's the way that she does Brazilian lymphatic drainage, which helps curve out the body. Not only helping you moving those fluids to the lymph nodes, so you can because as you're older you get, the lymph nodes slow down, they're sluggish, maybe they're not functioning the way they should. So we activate those lymph nodes, and then we do certain strokes to move fluids from your stomach, your back, your thighs. It's a full body massage, but we're actually giving you a lymphatic massage. But her strokes are a little different from the normal vulgar technique, which most LMTs do.
So how often or is there like a certain time frame for that type of regimen? Like what does that look like if someone started that process?
It's all natural. It's just me using my hands. It's a massage, so it can be done once a week, once a month, twice a month. I have some girls who come to me after they've had post-op surgery for, say, a tummy tuck or liposuction. The body accumulates fluid because it's healing, because of that inflammation is going to make, and when that fluid accumulates, it hurts.
Okay.
So they come to me for a lymphatic drainage massage. I get those fluids moving towards those lymph nodes. It's a very gentle massage. It only takes like 15 minutes, and it gives them that relief that they need.
So you guys have gotten a glimpse of all the different services that Sonia offers. And even if so from brows to makeup to a massage to a facial to a specialized massage, these are all things that I'm sure you can find yourself inside of one of those buckets, right? Whether you need your brows done, whether you need a massage, whether you need a facial, there are so many different services that are offered. And I do want to say, though you could do your own brows, though you could do your own makeup, why not treat yourself? We want to have someone that is specialized in these areas. So make sure you do your due diligence in terms of researching the things that you're doing on your own, and make sure that you're not doing something that you need a professional to do. And I'll be honest, I can sit up here and rub my leg all day, but it's not like going to a massage therapist. Right. It's just not. So we're going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to come back, and we're going to tell you how you can find Sonia on social media and maybe answer a couple more questions that I might have lingering on. Okay. So Sonia, every time I do an interview, I love to ask this question. And so you guys know my brand is the Pink Elephant. And usually the pink elephant is used to describe an awkward situation, a moment or a time where there's something going on that no one wants to acknowledge. And I came up with that because I've always been the awkward person in the room or in a space, being the only Black woman or youngest woman, sometimes in corporate America. So with that, I want to ask you, Sonia, what is it about your business that sets you apart from others? And have you ever felt like you were the only one? Have you ever been a pink elephant in the past? And now, how do you embrace being exactly Sonia Elliott?
Okay, so I'm a pink elephant in my family. I am, I've had an uncle who was a business owner, but auto parts, like auto mechanic, paint body, and another cousin who does paint body. But as far as the women in the family, I'm the first female entrepreneur, full time. Of course, people do like the Mary Kay and the Avon and stuff like that, but as far as a full-fledged brick and mortar business owner, I'm the pink elephant in my family.
Wow.
And so I'm the first, and I've inspired my other younger cousins to do the same. I have a cousin, she has a boutique in North Charleston called Belle Red. Her name is Latoya Patterson. You may know her. On actually Phosphate Road. So she's in business for herself. So it's just nice to see the younger generation stepping out and not just thinking in the box, but coming out of the box.
Yeah.
And not feeling that they can't accomplish what they want to accomplish because they have other people ahead of them that can, hey, if I did it, you can do it. And I can help you. I just, whatever advice you need, I'm there for you. And so that's what I've done. And so that's how I'm the big elephant in my family.
So, yeah, well, first of all, I want to acknowledge the fact that you have been brave enough to do something different because, like you said, it's not even about just you, it's the generations to come.
Right.
And I think, like, even having that bigger mindset is important for us to remember, like, there's going to be people after us.
Right.
So everything we do right now isn't just for this moment. It carries on as the years go. And so I just want to say that that's amazing that
Right.
you've been bold enough to step out and do something different because sometimes it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
I've shared on my platform that sometimes even with family, they don't see your vision, but you have to be strong enough and convicted enough to know that this is what you've been told to do. This is your gift. This is your passion, and go for it. And then after time, they'll see that you're doing it and it works, or maybe even not, but still being steadfast, like just stay on the course and do what it is that you know that you've been called to do, even if you are the first.
Right.
Somebody has to be the first.
Somebody has to be the first. And just kind of going back, when the purpose is birthed in your belly, and it's like you're carrying that baby.
Mm-hmm.
I carried this baby for several years, and I knew it was time to push.
Yes.
And so when the time came to push, God put everything in place. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. There have been there's always going to be some kind of obstacle, of course. But when there's purpose and God has birthed something within you, He'll put the right people in place, and everything has been a process. It's been a journey, So just don't let the naysayers say just get a job, because my parents are passed on, but the thing back then was just get a job or work for someone else. The entrepreneurship was never anything discussed in our house or even thought of. My dad was military. My mom was a housewife. It was like, get a job.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
So this entrepreneur thing was nothing that I witnessed as far as my immediate family was concerned.
And I think that's true for a lot of us. Like, I didn't necessarily see any women entrepreneurs. I didn't grow up with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people are fortunate enough to have seen that firsthand, but a lot of us haven't. But you said something earlier that I do want to make sure I acknowledge. Even though it may not have been in your household or around your close family, there are people that are still doing it.
Right.
So on social media, you're seeing entrepreneurs, information is available, but like Sonia she was so determined, and it's so like she knew that was something that she wanted to do, so she went out and got it on her own.
Yes. So
we can't allow what we didn't have in the past to keep us from going forward, because if we do that, we're not only shortchanging ourselves, we're shortchanging our generations to come.
Our bloodline.
Yeah. Your bloodline is at stake when you don't make moves like that. So I love what you said about that. And my question was, what sets your business apart from others? What do your customers get or your clients get that they can't get anywhere else? And I kind of have a feeling about some of the things that I see in you from different from other people. But tell me what it is that sets you apart, because of course there are other estheticians, and we know that it can be a lot of people in the thing that you want to do, but you're still uniquely you. So tell us how you're unique.
I'm unique because I believe that, yes, there are other estheticians in the area. There's one across the parking lot. There's another one across the driveway. And guess what? Me and the young lady across the driveway, we see each other. We're hugging. Oh, hey, we're not business besties, but we'll call each other. Hey, I'm having a rough day.
Right.
What do you think about this? I'm trying to get clients in. We'll bounce things off each other. So it's not about being in competition. It's about collaboration. Mm-hmm. And because there's thousands and thousands of people in the area, I can't wax every hoo-ha. She can't wax every hoo-ha.
Exactly.
And we do the exact same services, except she doesn't do facials. So, But what makes me different? I don't know. I've been called Charleston's best kept secret. Someone told me this several times a few years ago. Charleston's best kept secret. I believe in investing in my education. I'm not lazy. Okay. Some of these young people that are coming out of aesthetic school, they're on the lazy side and they don't want to work. They think it's quick money because they see the fluffiness and stuff, but they don't know it's work. It's actual work. And so I've heard from other clients, my person keeps canceling on me. She called because she doesn't feel like coming to work, that type thing. You can't do that if you're in business for yourself, period. And so, I accommodate my clients. I do take my one day off, and my Wednesdays are off. That's my day. And I take every other Sunday off because I have to give God His time.
Yes.
So, I'm here for my people. I give quality work. I'm constantly in someone's class. I'm constantly getting educated. I stay on top of everything. And I get their feedback. I ask their opinions. It's not about me making money. Yes, I need it to stay in business, keep my doors open, but I'm providing a very intimate service. And if I'm going someplace, I expect a certain level of expertise, a certain level of being treated well and just being appreciated. And I appreciate my clients and tell them that when they come in. So I guess so that's what sets me apart, is because I'm serious about my craft, and I'm serious about what I do, and it's in my work.
Yeah.
So, and it's a natural God. My gift is a natural gift given by the man upstairs. So yes. I'm good at what I do.
Yeah, I love that. And everything you said, I 100% agree with. Even as we talk today, I think the thing that I noticed that sets you apart is the fact that, one, you are passionate about your job. Like, this is not something that you're just doing. You actually enjoy this business. You're knowledgeable because you've spent time going to school. You're a life learner, which I think is so commendable, because a lot of times people get so comfortable knowing that they got, they're in this industry, but they don't learn and continue to learn. And I think that there's something to be said about someone who continues to learn and want to learn. And that really does set you apart from others. You made a great point that I want us to all take from this. Yes, there are going to be many people who do the same things as you. If you bake cakes, there's bakeries. Like someone uses the bread aisle analogy. Right. There are several different brands of bread, but guess what? Somebody gonna go in there and get Sara Lee. Somebody gonna go in there and get
John Durst,
Nature's Owl, whatever. It's so people are going to choose what they want, but there is still enough space for everybody, and I believe that. And that's the thing that I am an advocate here on my platform, is all about women loving and supporting each other, because there's so much space for us. And the moment you recognize that, you grow so much, because it's some things that I don't know that Sonia can teach me. Yeah. There's some things that I know I can give to Sonia. So if we were able to think like that, I think that we would all grow to a level that it's just a whole new height. So I think that, Sonia, between your passion, your skills, you are a great massage therapist. And the fact that you want to know and learn, I just think that that's so commendable and just outstanding. And I definitely wish your business the best.
Thank you.
So we want to make sure that everybody knows how to book with you, how to follow you. If you have any upcoming events coming up that are open to the public, anything like that you want everyone to know, can you give us some information?
Of course. So you can book me online. It is Sonia with an I, Sonia, Elliott, browsebeauty.com. So it's Sonia Elliott, browsebeauty.com. It'll go to my website. Just hit the book now button, and it'll go to my booking site. You can call or text 843-258-8205. That's 843-258-8205. That is my business line. You can call or text. Also, you can follow me on my social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Sonia Elliott Brows Beauty _. That's Sonia Elliott Brows Beauty _ at the very end. Facebook, Sonia Elliott Brows and Beauty, Wax and Wellness on Facebook. For the month of May, because it's Mother's Day is coming up soon, but for the rest of the month, we have a special coming. We have a special. It is a 90-minute Swedish massage and a 30-minute express facial.
Ooh.
It's valued at $155, but it's discounted. So and it's on the website now. You can book now. When you come in for your services, we're serving mimosas for the month of May.
Nice.
Whatever service you book, it doesn't matter. We're serving you mimosas, okay? Get your little tips before you go.
Yes.
Anyway. And then Father's Day is coming up, so we'll be having something for the men, you know. And also, gift certificates are always available at any time online. You can purchase them online. And I can get the physical. If you want to gift a gift certificate to someone, I can mail you the physical certificate, so you can have something to give someone for the birthday, anniversary, whatever the case may be. Gift certificates are always available online.
Nice. So for us wives, people who have a boo, you might want to go ahead and grab that Father's Day massage for your guy. I know I'm going to have to definitely reach out to you about that. It's hard for me to find massage therapists who will massage a man. FYI.
I have no problem.
So yeah, so I am definitely going to have to look into that. So you guys, I will make sure you have all the information so that you can reach out to Sonia for her services. I will have the her Instagram handles available to you as well. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about how to reach Sonia. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're following on all the platforms. You can follow me on Instagram at @thepinkelephant_by Shanae, and on TikTok it's the same thing. And if you're on Facebook, it's just Shanae Pringle. But thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.